Hello and welcome to Eat Sleep Code, the official Telerik podcast. I'm your host, Ed Charbeneau, and with me, as always, is my co-host, John Bristowe. How are you, John?
I'm good. I'm sneezing. Sorry, I had to mute there. Hope everyone's doing well.
Microsoft has this long history of keeping things alive well beyond their years. The .NET framework.
Yes.
It is now getting its August 2023 cumulative update preview.
Yeah.
So this is not .NET Core and what became .NET now, but the .NET 4.8.x is now getting a minor bump, and there's a cumulative update coming. So
Yeah,
probably
this
security
is for
patches and whatnot.
These updates are for folks who are hyper vigilant. These are if you do your taxes early, if you insist on being 15 minutes early to events, if you go to bed at 9 p.m., this is the update for you.
Well, this is for the old .NET though. Like this is .NET Framework.
No, I understand.
So you might want to get on top of like testing your live production stuff on the before the official release comes out. So they have a preview coming, and it's a lot of reliability and quality improvements more than anything. No new features are going to be coming in this .NET. They announced that quite some time ago.
I personally have downloaded and installed a few hot fixes in my time, and I'm not saying this is a hot fix, but it's always interesting to go through that process. Nothing much changes; things get resolved quickly. Mm-hmm. I remember we had a problem with the .NET XML parser at one point. We got a hot fix for that. That was nice, but it puts you in this limbo state. It puts you in the state of, oh, that's right, we're running the hot fix. So interesting.
Yeah. But I said that a little jokingly that Microsoft keeps these things alive too long because they are sunsetting
That's right.
Visual Studio for Mac.
The three people who are using this were really disappointed.
Ouch. Sam, I will have to let Sam know, and the two other
sure
people.
He'll be fine with it.
That you said that. But yeah, like this this kind of came as a surprise to me though, because there was Xamarin Studio, and they're like, oh, we'll just take Xamarin Studio and roll that forward as Visual Studio for Mac. And people were like, yay, because now we have Visual Studio for Mac. And then after all that investment, they're like, and we're just going to go with VS Code now. Sorry about that. So I think part of this, they don't spell it out here directly, but indirectly, I believe that the C# dev kit for VS Code is likely a cause of its untimely death. And the C#
was untimely.
dev kit for VS Code is something we talked
Visual
about.
Studio for Mac lived as long as you expected to.
Which is too long. Sorry, Mac users, but you could tell we're big fans.
To be clear, I used it and it was okay, but it felt like Eclipse. Like it was just a toy, and it was all junky and everything, and there was like it didn't feel well polished, So I can't. You can't blame people for feeling this way. I mean, if you're gonna ship stuff that looks kind of like cobbled together, it's gonna be like okay, So, plus, I think who's really using this thing? Like you've got Xcode, you've got VS Code,
yeah,
you've got Rider, you've got whatever, right? You've got all these alternatives, and then along comes VS for Mac, right? It's like, all right, so.
Yeah, I'm not sure how large the audience was there. I know the MVPs were a little upset, but
Who cares?
like I said, I think the C# dev kit was kind of the final straw here. It's like you can get a lot of the features, and then we don't have to upkeep 3 versions of Visual Studio now. So yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah,
it makes sense. Yeah. I look, the people I feel the worst for are the people who are working on the product. That's the punch to the gut there, is when they retire your product. So
now you've got a year, by the way, to wean yourself off of this and find something new. So they're going to keep updates coming for a year, and then it's going to be locked in, and that's the end. So that's about all she wrote for VS Mac. And
we hardly knew thee. We hardly knew thee.
yeah, on to some other .NET stuff.
Sorry, it's easy to make jokes, but yeah.
So Jeremy Clark, somebody that I know from the conference circuit and Pluralsight. He's an awesome Pluralsight instructor, by the way. If you haven't seen his content on Pluralsight, make sure you check it out. But I stopped by his blog because he had this really nice post on task and await. And I know task and await's not very new in C#, but what's nice about this post is that he's like, the gist of it is he's like, I use this all the time, but I never really sat down to really understand why async and task, you have to use them the way that you do, and kind of gives you a glimpse inside the black box of what's happening there. And he goes through kind of like rewriting some of the code that happens automagically when you use task and await in C#. And this is probably very similar to the implementation that's behind TypeScript's async await as well. So you might want to give it a read even if you're not a C# dev. So that's on Jeremy Clark's website. It's Jeremy Bytes. You can find it under Jeremy Bytes in the Googles. So nice dude too. So make sure you check his stuff out on Pluralsight if you're looking for any .NET advice.
I don't like nice people. I want cantankerous, strongly opinionated people.
So one thing I like about the post though is it's like one of those black box posts. Like I write these from time to time where I get super curious about something that I know is like so complicated underneath, but I use it all the time, and we've got this abstraction that's taken us away from really having to know how it works. But you really do want to know how it works, don't you? Isn't that why we're nerds? Like, we want to know how things work.
Sure, so I took apart my VCR.
Yeah, who hasn't?
Like half the audience is like, what's a VCR?
Yeah, really. I did one of these type of posts on expression trees before, because why not? I mean, why not figure out why expression trees are what they are and figure out how to use those.
You could churn your own butter while you're at it, but you know.
So these are always fun. Whenever I find one, I like to share them. And it's a great author too. I have a twisted meaning of fun. I like CSS, folks. So I mean that'll tell you what I think is fun.
That says it all.
Yeah,
says it all.
Speaking of the .NETs and the Visual Studios and the whatnots, we've got an August update to Visual Studio, John.
Yeah, the big one you'll like is obviously web WASM debugging. So decompile WASM code to step through and set breakpoints. So I know you're going to be a fan of that one, but generally speaking, it's another sort of bump update. Some improvements around accessibility, some improvements around the UI itself. The diff editor is nice. They've added some capabilities there, so you can see things like more of the capabilities of what you would experience in a full-fledged IDE. But obviously the WASM debugger is obviously the one I think that requires the most heavy lifting in my view. There are other ones as well around TypeScript and Python, but yeah, if you're all curious, you can check it out.
It's nice that you mentioned Python, John, because I just happen to have another post about Python, which makes this super interesting. So I'm not sure what they added in here in regards to Python. It's a pretty big post, actually. So new Python formatting article, default formatter. I have no clue what this is talking about. I'll be completely honest. I'm not a Python person. But if you want to get started learning Python, it would be a really great way to do that. Is if you opened up
Excel
and tried
Nuts
it there.
And gum together at last.
Yes, definitely. So they added, Microsoft added Python to Excel recently.
Makes sense. Numerical analysis makes sense.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good matchup here because Python's used for a lot of, what's it called? Machine learning, but for lack of a fancy marketing term, statistical analysis and probabilities and whatnot. It's used for all of that. And there's some examples in the blog post here on how you can use the Teams feature to kind of collaborate on these things and write your Python code and do fancy charts and graphs and whatnot inside of it.
Yeah,
so
PyTorch integration, they mentioned that? PyTorch integration? I doubt it.
I'm not sure, John. Let's check. Let's see. PyTorch. No, I don't see the word torch in here at all. But I'm sure it'll grow.
Things like that. So.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll grow over time. Looks like there was a couple third parties mentioned in here that had like plugins and things that work or worked along with Microsoft in implementing this. So yeah, get your Python going on inside Excel.
Get your Python on.
Yeah. Astro 3.0.
Yes.
I don't know what Astro is. I can't remember. I think we've talked about it before.
We have. I mean, Astro is a pretty nice web framework. We use it for our docs at Octopus, and it's been out for a while. It's pretty powerful in the sense that if you're building out web apps and you're looking to utilize things like Markdown, super nice for that. Great authoring experience, great dev experience too. 3.0 is adding view transitions, which is huge. This is leveraging all the things that you need around spas. One of the big things around Astro is obviously its support for building out spas and such. And view transitions, obviously based on CSS, gives you a really nice capability for GPU-based, GPU-bound animations, etc. So that's great. But if you're curious about viewing more about Astro, astro.build is the website, and it's basically excuse me, a front-end content website generator. It's super awesome. It's great. We use it, as I mentioned before, and 3.0 is adding a bunch of capabilities as highlighted in this doc or this blog post that is there. Ed's going through all the demos now. Love it.
Some of the animations here are slick. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. The big other one for me is the image optimization. Again, this arounds this theme of performance, but when utilizing images, obviously one of the challenges there is ensuring that the images that you have are not only the right basically the resolution, but also utilizing services that are available. So Vercel has a very well-known image service to see optimized images through a CDN, etc. So, but also there's things that, like, you hear Eric Lawrence talk about this all the time. People don't optimize their images. Like, there's like metadata in them, and they're not as small as they could be, etc. So these and other features help support that.
Is this server-side rendering for serverless?
It is. It is.
How does one have server-side serverless?
Well, it's generated on the server, then thrown down. But a serverless is based on a function. So there's no state to carry around, for example.
Gotcha. So you've got some functions up there serving some server-side rendered things.
Does work function, and then goes away.
Would it be
serverless?
Function
it does
side
work
rendering?
And then get out of here.
Should be FSR, function side rendered. Right?
Fair enough. Fair enough. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Astro is definitely one of my more favorite tools that I've been using in the last, say, couple of years. So it's pretty nice.
Neat, the CSS stuff that's being given to you as part of the framework.
Sure, yeah.
So it seems like it's a fairly opinionated framework, which is there's nothing wrong with if you need that sort of thing to get stuff done quickly. Yep. Like it. Haven't tried it, but it looks cool.
You should. It's great.
Bun.
Yes.
1.0 is here. We've been talking about the betas.
Soon to be here. Soon to be here. Yes. So this video is from the folks over at Bun. This is their announcement video. Their 1.0 release is almost here. For those who aren't aware, Bun is a solution. It's a runtime and a toolkit. It's like one of those combination 80s products. So it's a runtime and toolkit. It touts speed above all else. So if you're comparing this to something like Deno or Node, Bun is definitely highly touted. Allows you to, it basically provides a better, secure runtime environment. It's basically a good drop-in replacement for Node. If you're using Node today, you should consider Bun as an alternative because it does give you a really, really good runtime experience. So
cool. Not doing any or JavaScript on server these days, but wouldn't mind checking out some of the alternatives if I ever go back to doing any of that stuff. Jenkins. I haven't heard about Jenkins in a while. I mean,
Still
I know they're
used.
around, but
we support it. Support it at Octopus. So
like, it's just something. Maybe I'm not hanging out with the right folks, right? That's why I don't hear about it.
You know, Jenkins does a lot of heavy lifting. It's extremely popular in the Java space. And ugly. It is so ugly. The UI is like, it's using a famous quote from, I can't remember the name of the comedian. She's a very famous comedian, but so ugly, he hurt my feelings. So, but Jenkins is like, needs a major UI lift. But it works, you know, it works well. I mean, what are we talking about here? We're talking about infrastructure, right? So anyways, this article from the CD Foundation talks about how 79% growth in Jenkins pipeline jobs and 45% growth overall in CI/CD workload. I think Jenkins is a great CI tool. I don't think it's a great CD tool. I think you should use Octopus for that. We integrate with it. So I know that people like to trash Jenkins like I just did, but you know, it does do a lot of heavy lifting. And I think that Jenkins is used extensively, as I said before, amongst various groups. And we still see it all the time being used on our end. So we continue to support it. And, you know, I think the reason why people trash Jenkins is because of its interface. It's not the most well designed. Like, you look at something like Astro and the beautiful like view transitions and stuff, and they switch over to Jenkins, like, oh God, what is this? You know, so but yeah, it's definitely one of those set and forget technologies. So
yeah, that's what Thindle's saying here in chat. It's like, once you have it set up, you just don't have to look at it anymore.
Yeah. The type of environment, the support person is the person who has fallen asleep in the basement with the phone, you know, next to him, and you know, no calls. Basically, that's the kind of infrastructure software you want. Just stuff that continues to run.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to have to babysit these things, update them all the time. Stuff, they should just work.
Yep,
that's what enterprise is built on. There's still some people grasping at their Fortran mainframe technology going, it just works.
I feel attacked here. Please
it
stop.
Just works. SIMVer violations are common. Better tooling is the answer.
Yes. So, okay. So SIMVer, for those who don't know, is a versioning strategy syntax that's used. It's typically major, minor, patch, and then you can put a semantic tag on the end if you want. And the problem with SIMVer, it's not really a problem with SIMVer per se. SIMVer is fine, and that's what this article goes into. It's just the problem is that people represent these things badly. So people will be like, "Oh yeah, no problem, no breaking changes. It's a patch update." It's like, no, because you'll typically find there are breaking changes, for example. And so this article goes into the fact that we have to lean more on tooling. And the reality is that a lot of SIMVer is generated using tooling. So, but unfortunately, the tooling can't go far enough. It doesn't know that, for example, that you're breaking something wildly badly. So we use SIMVer. I've used SIMVer for years. I think it's fantastic. I think it's the right way to do it. There are other alternatives like Calver, which is based on dates. So it'd be like 2003.0.1, for example. But SIMVer is major patch, basically. And it works really well. And the idea is that if you're breaking changes, that's a major change. If there are no breaking changes but significant things under the hood, that's a minor change. And then if they're just patch updates, patch. And then you can put like branches and things like that. The thing that this article goes into is the fact that our tooling sucks around it. Like, it can only do so much. And the reality is we're trusting humans a lot of the time. That is, we, being tooling, is trusting nefarious actors, which are humans. Not nefarious, but like people who don't know better, like humans. They're mislabeling certain versions, and so there are violations all over the place, basically, when it comes to SIMVer checks and such. So even the tooling itself doesn't do a great job. Like, you know, there are some tools that do a wickedly good job, and there are some tools that don't do such a good job. And they'll warn you, and they won't, you know, take you along for the ride. But you know, more often than not, you can just disable it. So yeah. So if you're all curious, you can check out semver.org, I believe it is the website. And then you know, if you want to read articles about it, it's been around for a long time. But yeah, I would say if you're not using it, use it. If you're using it and you want to get better at using it, then there's tons of articles about it.
Yeah, it looks like this one was written in the context of Rust as well, which is interesting.
Yeah. So in particular, crates.
JetBrains.
I know.
Marketplace celebrates 5 years. I bet JetBrains is happy about that Visual Studio announcement, huh?
Well, I don't think they saw him as competition, but yeah. So JetBrains is you know, a friend of ours at Octopus. They utilize Octopus for their marketplace, for example. We're the #1 integration for TeamCity Octopus, that is. Yeah, but the marketplace has been wildly successful, and credit to JetBrains for making it a thing. Their marketplace includes all kinds of plugins for everything, basically. They're a massive, massive marketplace. And let's not forget, like, JetBrains ships a lot of different products. So they've got all their IDEs, they've got their server tools, they've got their .NET tooling, they've got their IntelliJ platform, they've got all kinds of stuff going on. So
Kotlin.
Yep, Kotlin, they've got all kinds of things. So when it comes to plugins in the marketplace, there's lots and lots of stuff there. So full credit to them. I think it's awesome that, you know, 5 years going strong. They've got just a ton of tools and things like that built in. Yeah, if you're utilizing IntelliJ products or utilizing things like Rider or, you know, ReSharper, etc., anything along those lines, there's going to be a plugin that you're going to want to use there. And so kudos to them. Well done.
Yeah. 8,000 plugins. It's not too shabby. It's pretty interesting metrics here, though. 8,000 plugins, 7,000 creators. So on average, you're like creating a 1 or 2 plugins per creator.
Uh-oh. And Ed has just frozen. Oh, there he goes.
Did I freeze?
You're good.
Right.
I'm still here. Are you still here?
Yeah, I don't know if we had a little internet hiccup or what. GitHub issues and projects September 7th update. So we've been getting these updates almost every month, I think.
I know. Well, almost weekly now. I mean, there are minor updates here listed. So this is, again, I bring these to your attention every week because it's like there's yet another update around GitHub, and I use GitHub extensively. So project template updates. So if you're utilizing project templates, which you should, you can create templates. You can copy them now, as an example. Integration with the CLI, which is fantastic. So minor updates there. This is, you know, project templates are a good way for organizations to manage the way in which projects are created, the way in which they're, you know, stubbed out, etc. Sticky group headers is another feature that we've added. GitHub has had. I've been saying we so much to project view. So if you're scrolling through your project, a sticky group header is just something that pins itself to the top. It's kind of like a pinned row inside of Excel or Google Sheets. So that is kind of a nice feature now. They've added things like updated colors for single select fields. So if you're selecting or designating the status of particular items in your GitHub projects, you can now designate that with a different color. You can create issues in board repository groups, which is fantastic. This is obviously something that was badly missed, I think, for me. Creating new issue directly within by a repository on a group board is going to be important. And then they've done a bunch of fixes and stuff. They've added historical charts, you know, so lots and lots of good stuff. They're really making a run for the money of around the traditional tooling around this, i.e. Jira. So,
all right, on to some kind of entertaining news, John.
What, my charts and graphs aren't entertaining?
So we talked about Visual Studio Code, you know, kind of seeing the end of days. Visual
Studio for Mac. Let's be clear. You said Visual Studio Code.
Oh, my bad. People just panicked, I'm sure. Visual Studio for Mac has been sunset. Did you know that the Netflix DVD mail service was just now sunset after 25 years?
What?
Like, this is still a thing. or was.
Who's using this?
Still
Who was using this?
Apparently, there were people still on the Netflix DVD by mail plan.
Wow.
And as of just about a week ago, it's 8 days, 10 days, something like that. It's done after 25 years. So what's hilarious about this?
Kudos to Netflix. 25 years. Well done.
I don't know if it's in this story, but I read many stories about it this week. Do you know what they did with their inventory?
Just bury it like a bunch of ET cartridges for the Atari 2600.
So this is pretty cool. You know, they've shipped these things all over everywhere, and you know they've made their money off of the inventory they have. So at this point, it's probably a cost to get rid of it. So what they did is they shipped out their last DVDs, and they're like, keep them. They're yours now. It's your problem. And then they're like, oh, by the way, if you want more, we have more. Like, just let us know. So they just like liquidated all their stuff for free to any customers that still had a subscription.
What about those? I guess, those customers who don't use their service? Can I get free DVDs?
Probably for a short period of time you could. It said here it is. If you're a subscriber, you can enter to get 10 extra discs shipped to you on the final day of service. They're just like, keep them.
There's no way they're going to get rid of all these. I guarantee you, there's going to be a burial sites that's located somewhere, a la ET, game cartridges.
I mean, they make great coasters, wind chimes, bird deflectors.
My friend and I got into the habit of microwaving them when I was in university. I don't know why we did it, but there was a blue lightning bolt that would shoot down from the top. We thought it looked cool, and then it would stink up the entire apartment. I don't know why. I'm sure we lost a couple of years in like carcinogenic fumes, etc. So.
And I saved the best for last, John. We really need a bumper for the Ed Triggers John segment of the show.
Why is this a thing? Question mark.
Why is this a thing?
VR
so
Go
in VR
wearable
news,
PCs. Perfect.
So the VR Go wearable PC 4th gen, John. This is a fourth generation.
Fourth attempt.
This is the fourth iteration of this technology.
Looks all right.
So
Looks good.
This is a backpack. A backpack
looks like an Xbox on your back.
PC built in.
Look how reinforced the hips are.
It's got all the ports too. Like, let's see if I got my zoomy tool.
How hot would your back be with this thing on it?
You can make out the ports there.
Oh yeah.
It's got like SIM slots and everything. Like, look at that.
Who wouldn't wear this? You know.
Yeah. So you can wear on your back.
Oh yeah.
A 11th gen Core i7 notebook processor with 8 cores, an NVIDIA RTX. This is one of the laptop processors with 8 gigs of memory.
Yep.
Or a 16 gig, by the way.
Nice. Does this come with like a
16
cooling pad?
gigs of DDR memory. Yeah.
You're going to need one of those Dune suits to wear this thing. You know, you're going to have to recycle the water just to cool this thing down.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, this thing is going to be... Look at all the vents on this. Like, this is going to be just blasting
going right out of
heat.
your butt. Perfect.
Like... This is more powerful than my...
You know, you can stop blaming the dog. You can now blame your Zotac shoot for making smells. Perfect.
Yeah. So this guy's trying to put sanitizer in his ear, I think, to forget the news we just talked about.
Wow. That looks like an old Xbox.
Yeah, it kind of does. So what do you do with a gaming rig strapped to your back? Because, like, the kids have laptops that are gaming laptops,
What don't you do, Ed? That's the real question.
So here we go.
50 minutes of battery. 50. 50 minutes of battery life.
Yeah.
It's probably half of that.
Yeah.
25 minutes. Perfect. It takes you 25 minutes to put it on.
Yeah. On the go battery replacement. Batteries are sold separately. Chargers bundled.
So wait a minute. Is that picture including the battery? Is that or is the battery on your chest or something? What is this?
I'd imagine maybe this trap.
Okay, the battery's got to be built in somewhere.
But it sounds like they're hot swappable, which
good.
That no pun intended on the hot, right?
Oh God.
Yeah, so this is the thing. I didn't know this
That's
was a
not-
thing. Now I do. So yeah, like I'm not sure why you do this.
Oh, I can answer that.
Well, you can stream VR to your headset, and it's pretty dang good. It's almost on par with tethered these days. If you have especially a dedicated Wi-Fi for doing that, I mean, it's really good quality being streamed to your headset, and you don't have to carry. How much does this weigh? Probably like 8 pounds, 10 pounds. It's a mobile, laptop pretty much.
Can we check out their website? I'm curious to see what's on their website. Can we go look up? I don't know where this is going to take us. I wouldn't click the links. I would just.
Is it the Z-Box? Yeah, this takes you there.
Okay.
Zotac.
Here we go. Oh, beautiful. What does this weigh?
Specifications.
Look at the asterisk on 50 minutes playtime. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Mechanical? Try mechanical.
Jeez. Two 6,000 amp
Those things are not safe
batteries. No, this is like a nuclear bomb strapped to your back.
This is Ghostbusters all over again.
I am not seeing a weight on here.
Okay. Fantastic.
It is not telling us.
The fact that it has hips reinforcement is definitely should. It's probably at least 10 pounds.
When you
Oh my God! Look
one,
at the brick. Did you see the brick? Go up.
When you buy one, John, it'll tell you how heavy the shipment is. Just let us know.
That's right. Scroll. Go through the images there. Look at the brick.
Is it,
No,
is it here?
no.
Or
Go
is
up.
it
Go
higher?
up. Go up. Go up. Go up. Go up. Go up. Up. Now, see those images? Scroll to the right or left. There's a brick image somewhere. I think it was on the right. Go to the right. Go to the right. Go to the right.
That's the.
Oh my
back.
God! Look at the I/O. Oh, there it is. Look at the brick. Far right. Look how big that thing is. Yeah, let's put
Okay.
this on your back. Oh my God! Look at the brick. Oh my God! Look how big that thing is. This thing is a power-hungry unit. That's for sure. Oh, it lights up. They got LEDs. Perfect. Oh, here we go. Yes, build with power. Yes. Yes. Okay.
I mean, for developers, maybe this is.
God. Okay, I'm out of here. See you later. And then runs out of juice. Here we go. All right, let's put our headsets on. Yep, jump into new experiences.
For developers, this might be an interesting thing, but again, you can wirelessly do this. I don't understand.
They're in their basement as well. Like, do you see the beginning of the video? They're in their basement. Like, oh,
I think that
man.
goes without saying that anybody.
Yeah, the
that buys
LEDs
this
are
is in their
important. Gotta have the
basement, John.
LEDs.
I don't think we need
RGB, RGB.
I think
This
it's.
is zero in Zotac mean.
I think it's implicit that you're in your basement when you're buying
All
this.
these things. You know what? More. Bring it on. Just more of this, please. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So later on this month, though, the Meta Quest 3 does come out, and I will be getting that sometime, probably in December.
I want you to wear it for
January.
me, Ed. Our next Eat Sleep Code. I want you to wear that just to intentionally
I have
trigger
mine.
me.
I have my my Quest 1 here. I love my Quest 1. It's right here.
Here we go.
See?
Yep. Here we go.
It is the bee's
Beautiful.
knees. I
Yep.
love it.
Sweet.
It's not on right now, so I'm just looking into pitch black.
Oh, that's good enough, Ed. Just keep it on your face there. Let's
just
just
keep
do
it
the rest
here.
of the show this way. There you
I know
go.
you like it, John. I did get. Let's see, are they around? I just bought. Oh yeah. Hey, check these out. I've got. You're gonna love these, John. So I've got a boxing game on there, and it's pretty intensive.
Did
So
you get virtual
start-
gloves or real gloves?
Just I don't have any gloves, but I guess virtual then. But you get sweaty, so I just got these today. Got to have the sweatband.
What?
Got to have the sweatband for your face.
You look
so
like
don't
you look
get-
like a cheap superhero.
It's super.
It's Edward Man.
Super Ed. Yes. No, it's super nerd. All right. Then you lock this guy on there.
Oh, beautiful.
And then, yeah, so you don't sweat on it.
Beautiful.
'Cause-
I love this.
You don't want to sweat on it. Because I did sweat on it before. Like, it got pretty dank for a while there. And my daughter came, and she's like, I want to play on the VR. I was like, okay, have at it. And she puts it on. She's like, Dad, why does it smell like an Italian sub sandwich?
That's right. Why is it so greasy?
She's like, why does it smell like onion vinaigrette?
Now she can wear this backpack on her back with the hip waders. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
I love this, Ed. Thank you for showing me this. This is amazing. Who wouldn't want this?
I'm sure they deliver to Australia. So
strap an Xbox to your back. There you go. This is what people want.
Where to buy? I know you want one. You're gonna go get one.
Can you get it at like Best Buy? Oh, geez. All right.
Sure.
Font rendering issue? I'm not sure. Seems to be a font rendering issue.
Let's try English.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
Still
Can't find it anywhere. Awesome.
Yeah.
You
click where to buy.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Is it? Oh, that's Razer. Sorry. Search for it. Search for Zotac or whatever it's called. Zotac. Zotac. Yeah, they got a search on their website there. Oh, shop. Yeah, you're going to pull up Amazon shopping. Oh, there it is. The Zotac store. The U.S. store. That's it. That's what we want. There you go. I don't even know how much this thing is. There, it's the first link. That's the store. That's the U.S. store.
What the heck did I click on?
I don't know, Ed. I love watching people navigate because they don't click the thing you're telling them to.
Not only that,
it's right there.
my mouse is not set up for desktop mode at the moment. Featured products. There we go.
I don't think this is Oh, we could just buy one of those and put it on our back. How about that? Just get a tower, put it on your back.
I mean, at least you're getting your
no
cardio.
Battery. Yeah. Just just do a couple of squats with that. You'll get all the exercise you need. So there you go. So, This is what we've come to, Ed. We're literally taking a tower, like a circa 1990s Doom capable tower with a 486 turbo button, and strapping it to our back and calling this VR. Perfect.
I don't know if you can see my mouse. I'm trying to get it up there. So Sean, this is my mouse, and it has a clutch on it. And I don't know if you can see the lights on camera, but yeah, there you go.
I think the RGB is causing it to fail, Ed.
So
I think you need a backpack.
My clutch was not set for mousing on the desktop. It was set for gaming. So I was missing links I was trying to click on because it was set for like 5 times the DPI of
all right,
the
easy
desktop.
Humble brag. Easy.
So it's like you can see
that's
how
what we need to do. Take that Mech Hero. Take that Mech Hero thing and we'll strap that to our back. There you go. For $849. Perfect.
You can get your deadlifts in while you do your PC
Yeah,
gaming.
sure. Beautiful. Love it. Oh, Ed, thank you for showing me that. That was awesome.
Anytime, my friend. That's all we've got, folks. That's it. As much as I'd like to have more, they're just...
The show's just going to become like John gets upset with the world. Why are we building this?
I'm going to make VR.
Show?
I'm going to make VR a requirement, John. You're going to have one to join me. We're
Today
gonna do
in VR
in
news.
the metaverse.
Yep. We got to just bring back the flying bird, the virtual bird flying.
Yeah, I want to see your avatar, your VR avatar, John.
Oh, I have one.
I need to see that.
I've donned a Kinect once, only once. I have it on my head, and I was just like, this was years ago, and I remember when that came out, I was like, all right, put the box on my head. Here we go.
I definitely need to see that. We'll come back for another Eat Sleep Code as well. So, John, I will see you then.
All right,
Take care.
Man. See ya.